On Exploration 2 for Big Ideas, 8.2. Again, this is done on your Big Ideas platform. You want to make sure that you go to Exploration 2. Once you get to that point, you'll be able to fill in the chart there, unless you printed out a copy of it. And if you did, this would be part 2 or Exploration 2. So finding powers of products. Now you notice there's a difference between what we did in Exploration 1, where we had like bases and we created a rule for how we can find a product of two powers with the same base, and then we created a second rule for a general rule for finding a power raised to a power. Well, in Exploration 2, we are going to have a table again with the same 3 titles. One has the power, actually the power part is at the beginning, and we kind of flip-flopped where the products are and where the powers are. So we're going to actually be showing repeated multiplication of just exactly what's in the base, and then we're going to rewrite them as products of powers and come up with a rule. So let's take a look at what we got here. We have a base with 2 numbers being multiplied together. Remember, when you have 2 numbers separated either by a dot like we have here, or if you have 2 variables sitting right next to one another, you are multiplying. And so in this case, our base is 2 times 3 raised to the 3rd power. Well, we know 2 times 3 is 6, and we can raise 6 to the 3rd power, but that's not what they're asking us to do. Sometimes we have numbers inside our brackets or our parentheses. Our things are being raised to a power that actually are a variable, and how would we actually show the repeated multiplication of that? So we're going to start with numbers today, and we're going to work our way to variables later on in the lesson. So I'm going to show repeated multiplication of this base. This says 2 raised to the 3rd power times 3 raised to the 3rd power. So I can easily write those 2's multiplied out and those 3's multiplied out in repeated multiplication of that base. Each one of them is being multiplied 3 times, and I know that because my exponent is 3. So how I can rewrite this showing a product of powers, like we had in the first exploration, would simply put the 2 with a base of 2 raised to the 3rd power and a base of 3 raised to the 3rd power. So this is the rewritten form of this product of powers over here, or powers, 2 numbers raised to a power. Now, some people might think, why didn't I just do the multiplication inside the parentheses and raise that to a 3rd power? That would have given me the same answer here, but what I'm really looking for is, can you apply the exponent to each of the items inside the base? And that's what we are doing here. So let's look at the next one. The next example shows 2 times 5 raised to the 2nd power. Well, that means 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. And when I rewrite that as a product of powers, I have a base of 2 to the 2nd power and a base of 5 to the 2nd power. And that's how you rewrite it. It's pretty simple, okay? Keep going on this table, finish filling it in, and see if you can write a general rule. I'd actually like you to write rule and show what you think the rule would be when you're finding a product of powers, or powers of products, I should say. So I literally want you to write a rule, okay? And think about what's happening here to here. What is the change that's happening, and what can you apply a law or a rule that makes that make sense for anyone else? Okay, so you're going to go to Dynamic Classroom and you're going to fill in this chart with an Exploration 2, and when you are finished, you are going to turn it in. Okay, it will tell you if you did it correctly or not. And I don't want you to freak out if you're struggling with this. I want you to just try it, and if it didn't work out for you, it didn't work out for you. You can rate your understanding of this on the Dynamic Classroom and all of that, but I do want you to go in there and give it a try, because that way I can see what you're doing and that at least you're trying, and I can see your errors as well. The next video lesson, which would be for the next day on our calendar, is going to be starting 8.2. So at that point, we will be taking notes in the packet, which will make all of this more clear to you, I hope. All right, good luck with that.